Let's talk Conor McGregor for a second. I mean, you've been in the sport forever, and you've seen guys kind of go up and down through these peaks, and you've experienced these highs and lows yourself. A guy like Conor McGregor, for me personally, when I've seen guys like the Randy Coutures, the Gina Carano's, who had a lot of hype, a lot of success, they get into the sport. As soon as you become like this center of attention, and then you have not only sponsors relationships you have to deal with, you have movie options, you have so many more things pulling at you that it can be distracting. Do you think that we're going to see Conor McGregor 2.0, or do you feel like his ship is kind of sailing at this juncture?
I mean, anything could definitely happen, but if I had to guess, I would say I feel like his ship's kind of sailed. I think he got so mega famous that he kind of lost the. Probably, I'm sure he still trains, but probably not that same hunger. When you have that kind of fame and money, it seems a little distracted. I mean, I don't know this for a fact, but quite possible he has a drinking and possibly drug problem too, with the way he seems to party. So I would actually, even though I was never a huge Conor fan, I would love to see him come back in top form. That would actually be the best comeback story. Even though I was never a huge Conor believer, I still think it'd be great to come back there and look at his peak. I think part of the reason he got so hyped is he is a great fighter, but part of it is when he wins, he looks extremely flashy, and he's a great shit talker. But I think he always had holes. He always had big holes in his grappling. But when he wins, it's usually within a couple minutes because he comes out there just so explosive right in the beginning. So when he wins, it looks like he's unstoppable.
Yeah, there's I've always said there's really two like routes to become famous, right? Fighting. You can either be the Kale Sonnen, where you're not necessarily the best in the world, but you can talk really good. You're great on a mic. You can hype and sell a fight. You're a Tito Ortiz-esque, or you guys like you, GSP, where you're just going in there and you're not going to go sit there and tell them that I'm going to go bang your mother, but you're just going to constantly win. And whether people want to see you lose or not, they're just like, man, this guy's he's a murderer. Like, he's tough, you know? And when you got a guy like Conor McGregor, who's constantly winning and can talk shit, I mean, it does thrust you in the limelight. You said you weren't a Conor believer. I wasn't either for a long time, admittingly, until I watched his fight. I was there in third or fourth row when he fought Jose Aldo, and I was completely wrong. Yeah. I was like, this is a bad matchup. Jose's a great timing, has great strikes. He has probably better wrestling, and his jiu-jitsu is world-class. People forget about that. I go, this is a bad matchup for Conor. And then sure enough, he gets that right on the kisser.
It's that hook right away, right? Yeah, no, he had some great performances. I'm not taking it away from him. I do think he's a great fighter. I just want to put him in the list of like the greatest of all time. But I think he's a great fighter, and he always had the holes with the ground, and his conditioning was a little questionable. That's what I was fortunate enough to corner Nate for both those fights. The first one, I think Nate had a 2 or 3 weeks notice, but he was able to go out there and break Conor, because I don't think Conor never been pushed like that. So I think it was the second round. All of a sudden, you could see Conor. You see look in his face when he was just throwing on Nate. He was the one fading, not Nate, and that was you could see it turn around in his eyes.